Hi, I'm Ben. I'm from Shinrone, County Offaly. I've been cancer free for 10 years now. When I first found out I had cancer was when I went into the consultant, and the consultant did a scan on me, and I just had a small pain in my back, but nothing like as a work pain, you know, from lifting or whatever. And he done a CT scan, and he called me that night, and he says something's after showing up in the scan, and we want you back in for more scans. And I think it was the next day. Yeah, sure, it was the next day. He called me back in, and we did more scans. We did an ultrasound and another CT scan, and they saw the tumour on the kidney, and that was the start of it. They were able to determine from that that was a secondary tumour. It was coming from somewhere else. So they guessed by the line of it, it was coming from the testicle, because testicular cancer, if it's not caught in time, will go testicle, kidney, lung, brain. That's the line of testicular cancer if it's not caught in time. And I was on the stage of kidney heading for the lung. It's a bit emotional for me to talk about it, because even though it's 10 years ago, it affected me fierce that time. And even now talking about it, I don't talk about it much, but it affects me even now talking about it. The thing about it, when you're so sick in hospital, you really don't want to see anybody. And if it sounds funny, but you don't, when you're sick, and I was very sick, I really didn't want to see anybody, because I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was a lot of the time I was in isolation in the hospital, and when they came up, they had to scrub up, and maybe they wouldn't be allowed in to see me anyway. So it was until I started getting better and better. It was okay. I didn't mind nobody coming up to see me, and it sounds funny because most people would like to see their family coming up to see them, but when you're sick with cancer and you're really sick, you really don't want to see anybody, and that's who it was until I started getting better, and then the more people came in, it was good, you know. So really, when you go through cancer, you don't really care what people say in a nice way, because if 1 out of 10 people, 1 out of 100 people listens to you, it means so much. Because, and I tell people, test, especially men, when you're in the shower or the bath, look, you know, feel your testicles, see is there any abnormalities there. Look and see, and if there is, do not be afraid to go to the doctor. Go. It's one of the better ones to get, and if it is caught in time, but if it isn't, it's still one of the better ones, because they're after the cancer research and everything. It's after coming on so much in 10, 20 years. It is the cure rate for testicular cancer is really up there. My outlook in life now is to do as much today as you can, when you can. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, but I try to live my life and do the things I want to do. Because I remember when I was lying in the bed after getting cancer, I'm working since I was 16 years old, and all I did was work. And I remember when I was lying on the bed with chemotherapy, and I said, I did nothing with my life. And I said, if I come through this, I'm going to make a bucket list to do the things I want to do, and I did, and my bucket list is nearly empty now. So I did a lot of the things I wrote down in the bucket list, and I'm still doing them. Whatever I want to do, I try to do. If it comes into my head that it's possible to do, I do it. And it gives you an outlook on life. It just turns you around and gives you an outlook on everything, every aspect of life and every aspect of everything, you know. So.